Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to more family-friendly gaming with Soap the Great. I am back on the Hypermine modded server playing some FTB Infinity Evolved and flying around when I keep saying that I need to walk around. So I've done a little bit of work. We need to show off some of the progress here. And then we've got a small project to take care of. And, well, let's see. Last time we were together, I was working on a tree farm, and I got to show you that. I couldn't wait. I could not wait to get your feedback. So we've done a little bit of modifications, shall we say, to that thing, because I was not pleased with it one bit. So what are we doing over here? Well, I'm showing you a little bit of, it's planning work, really. It's nothing major, but I got into my gray wool block supply and started just hashing out some more of the paths that we're going to have. And for the more astute amongst you that have looked in the journey map up in the top right corner, you will note that there are some strange shapes happening inside the castle walls. So we will take a look at those as well. But there's some of the paths, kind of fine-tuned some of the way to get into the castle from here and to get around up on top of that agricultural hill. But once we go in here, we've got a lot more work being done. What is that noise? I think that's the fisher. It's over there. All right. So I got into my wool supply, my regular wool supply as well, and started laying out where buildings are going to be going. I don't know what these buildings are going to be housing, but this is just an attempt to kind of get the feel for how this castle town is going to go. In particular, I've recently been watching Robin Hood. I can't remember who is doing it. Is it the BBC? I'm not sure if it's the BBC. Yeah, it's got a mix of Americans and Britons and Australians in there. You saw a little spoiler there. I'll show you that in a bit. I can't remember who does it. Anyway, Robin Hood. And I am influenced a little bit in my ideas by Nottingham Castletown. So kind of, it's not the most populated town, and there's a lot of walkways and the buildings are kind of sparsely strewn about the town, but that's kind of what I'm going for. So right there, I know that's going to be stables. Here is going to be the main throne room / living quarters. Over here is the dining area. I don't know what this is going to be. The town center is going to be right here. So we'll have a little fountain or something. I was going to put a well right there. We're not going to do that. It just looks too empty up here to have some other, or rather, if I left that open, it would look too empty. So we're going to move the well probably alongside the town square and fountain area right in here, and we'll put another little building or something right here. But we'll have some shops over there, and then the chapel is going to occupy up here. Long term, the chickens are going to go bye-bye. I don't need them anymore. We've got the big reactor going, and we've got plans for better power production in the future. So the chicken generator, don't get used to it. All right, so back here is going to be the chapel. I'm not sure how far back it's going to extend, but what I'm thinking is we'll probably have the standard church cemetery back here as well. A little decorative homage to that is common in such places. But this is just the planning stages, and so that's what I was really getting that wool for, kind of throwing out some of the rough building concepts. I threw out some paths as well. And so I'm going to be trying to walk these paths and see how they feel for getting around the town and look at the sight lines and all that. So out here, get ready. Get ready. Are you ready? I'm hiding it. You might have seen it already on the journey map. There we go. I tore the whole thing down. That's right. I couldn't stand it. And I think it was generating, I started getting some lag after I put that building over top of this, and I was looking up how the harvester works with trees, and it turns out that once a tree is detected by the harvester, the search radius goes out, and it was trying to figure out if the building itself was part of the tree. And in the, before I put the carpenter's blocks on here, it said, yes, this is a tree, and ate up the building. But I pulled that back, and it seems that I'm not getting as much client-side lag. There we go. So we got a nice little tree there. And what I've done instead is I couldn't have trees right here, here, and here because the blocks for producing all this were getting in the way. And then what else? Is this sending? It's not sending items. I don't know. For some reason, when I had the tesseract down below the harvester, I kept getting spruce saplings in my ME system. I don't like that so much, but there we go, and that's the design we're kind of going with. And what we're going to do is use this to inform part of our project today, and that is going to be dealing with these farms right here. I forgot to get a tool, and while we're doing that, I am going to kind of set up what we are headed towards. Stop flying, even though we have flight. Man, those chickens are loud. So we're going to come over here and get my lumber axe of doom. As I say of doom, of pretty much any shovel that has, or any tool that has all the haste on it. And our project today is lined up right there in those crafting benches, but let's get this lumber axe and eat. That's one thing about flight, is that you don't eat, or you don't have to eat. Walking around, you kind of have to. Before we get into that, let me just show you, since you've already seen the spoilers, and I kind of meant for you to see them, but I wanted to show them off to you here. You can see that work is beginning inside of the castle keep, and you might notice that the world anchor is gone, and so is the magnum torch. That's because I have something to show you. Let's look at the chunk boundaries as we get stuck on the wool there. So we've got a chunk boundary right here. You see that? That red dot or red line right there? That means this block is a distinct chunk from this block. And I had the world anchor, excuse me. My throat is giving me a little bit of trouble here. I had the world anchor right here. Or here, somewhere in here. I had it in this chunk. So the world anchor loads a 3x3 chunk radius around it. And so that means, because it was in this chunk, this chunk, this chunk, this chunk, that chunk, that one, and then a couple more over there and there and there were all loaded, whether I was on the server or not. That's all fine and dandy if that's actually the set of chunks that I wanted loaded. The problem is that my reactor and the skystone processing were all outside of that chunk. You see right here? The reactor's in this chunk. I had meant for the world anchor to be in this chunk, loading the 3 around it, and it was in this one, and that's why my computer was not restarting whenever the server would restart, and why my skystone processing has been hit or miss unless I get on the server. So there we go. We're starting to get more skystone processing, and we will be doing that even when I'm not logged in, so I don't have to stay logged in. Now, I've moved it inside of here, and you can see that we've got a little bit of work going on. Over there is another project I'm not going to show you quite yet, but we are going to be starting work on the spawner room, and so I've been playing around with the chisel mod, and that's factory blocks and elaborate futuristic armor plating block. So the chisel mod added a bunch of blocks and a bunch of varieties to those blocks. So we've got factory, laboratory, and then Tyrian right here. Anyway, you can throw those in the chisel and get a bunch of different looking textures here, including this one. See, this is a laboratory block, so is this. And we're going to be going with laboratory blocks on the inside here for the most part. Factory worked really well for a little bit of a warning. So, warning, warning, danger, danger. This is mob killing area. So the spawners are going to be centered over this block in a tower up that way. There we go. All right. I have spent way too much time. Let's fly. Okay, we are going to fly. And let me show you what we are working on. Now, let's also pull off the chunks here. So our our overall wood choice for this whole area is going to be spruce logs and dark oak fences. Okay, and that's nice if if we were to have dark oak fences available, but that did not get put in until Minecraft 1.8. Yeah, so what we are going to be doing is working on a little machine that can paint different blocks, different textures. So let's go over to the machine area, and then we will work on this painter machine. It's from EnderIO. It's actually called the Painter. And let's sleep. I'm on with Tick. Oh, he said something. I will need to chat with him in a bit. So I missed that while I was doing the recording thing. So we're going to add a new machine over here, and it's called the Painter. So for EnderIO, we need a machine frame. So we'll need a machine chassis. Then over here, yeah, there's the painting machine. Okay, so you saw the recipe. Probably went through that a little quick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade this painting machine to make it run a little bit faster, and we're going to do that by making some capacitors. So you can upgrade them with basic capacitors, or you can use those basic capacitors in additional recipes. So let's do that. We're going to take the basic capacitors and we're going to make the double layer capacitor. So you see the recipe right there. And then we'll take the double layer and put that around here, and we'll get the octadic capacitor. Alright, so I did not bring something that I needed. I should have. Let's get some dark oak wood. We'll get that from here. And there we go, dark oak planks. We need that so we can set up the pattern that we're going to be painting these oak fences with. So the next thing we got to do is put the painting machine up top, and it should be filling up. It's going to take a lot of RF, and we will throw in the octadic capacitor, and there's the RF slowly but surely going up, probably because I would need to upgrade the flux duct there to increase the rate of transfer into that machine. So this is how this works. We're going to take the dark oak as our pattern, if you will, and let me just show you that we do not have dark oak fences. Okay, so here's dark oak. We've got all the chisel varieties right here. We've got, I have no idea what that is. I'm not going to get into the witchery mod, but that's it for dark oak. We've got gates, but no fences. Now you could use the carpenter's mod or carpenter's block mod, but I don't like the fences in there. So what we're going to do is just take regular fences and we're going to throw them in here and see what happens. So it paints the fence with the texture that you happen to put on the other side. Let's grab another one of those. Can I reach it? Yes, I can. And there we go. So that's how we're going to be getting our dark oak fences here in Minecraft 1.7.10. And I'm just going to go around and take care of that. So you've seen how I've set up this painter. I'm just going to do that off camera now. You've seen how to do how to take care of adding a texture to a block. I'm not sure which blocks are valid for, or I'm not sure of all the blocks that are valid for going into the painter. Well, obviously gates are. You can also do glowstone, so you can, that's another way of hiding lighting. So you can put regular glowstone in there and put, say, small skystone brick on there if you wanted. And I think that would work, but I'm not sure. I haven't tried that out. So anyway, that's how to do the painting machine. It's how to apply a separate texture. And I'm going to take care of the rest of these farms off camera. Well, actually, I'm not going to do the wheat farm off camera. I'm going to move the wheat farm later. So I will not bother putting those fences and stuff back on. This little project was not part of my to-do list, so we're not going to go back over there for the time being. And next time we're going to take care of what I've got in this area. And I'm not sure at this point whether I've received any guesses as to what this might be. And in fact, by the time I record it, I may not have seen any guesses either. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm recording a bunch of these ahead of time and kind of doing some batch recording. But that's going to be it for this installment of Family Friendly Gaming with Soap the Great. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you did, a like is always appreciated. Again, if I'm not comfortable sharing it with my kids, I am not going to share it with you. And that's going to be it for now, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Well, here's the thing. I'm bringing you back because I realized after I closed out that episode, or closed out this episode, that I had forgotten something very important. And that is, I failed to thank you for your time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for just taking a little bit of time out of your day and sharing it with me. And I do appreciate it. I do realize that you have a lot of demands on your time as well, and I don't take that for granted. So I'm sorry for not telling you thank you for sharing today with me. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.